Luke, who's the core dev, and Luke is right up here in the front. So Bova is the chief architect behind Crust economic model. He's a senior investor in the capital market and has been managing fund products worth over 300 million, as well as advising crypto economic models for many other projects. Luke comes from a strong CS background and has conducted research on distributed systems and automatic machine learning. After graduating with a master's degree in CS from Zhejiang University, he joined Microsoft to work on Azure Developer Toolkits and is now exploring the future of decentralized storage with Crust via Clouderium technologies. So without further ado, I'll let Luke come up to the stage and take it away.
Oh, hey guys. Yeah, it's so happy to be here and very nice to have you there. I'm a little bit like exciting and also nervous about because this is actually the first offline workshop in the US. I think it is, right, Steven? Yeah, so yeah, I don't think that's a like very serious lecture around like this. So anyway, we came from Shanghai like 3 weeks ago. We stay in the Bay Area like 2 weeks, I think. We attend like tons of after parties and some of the events there because, you know, I never see that much people in the same house after the COVID. And I'm so excited about that. And I keep talking with people and yeah, I just grab people randomly and say, oh, you need to come to see the project. That's super cool. That's called Crust Network. We can store the metaverse with faster than a Filecoin, with cheaper than Arweave. And we're like super cool. But the people's first reaction were like, wow, who are you? Do I really know you? And the second reaction is like, okay, I got it. Cross network, okay, we got it. Maybe, yeah, my accent or like doesn't pronounce in the right way. But anyway, I need to like do the self-introduction about myself before I introduction about Crust Network, right? So yeah, I'm Luke. I graduated from the university. I joined a lab called CCNT in the Zhejiang University, which is a joint lab with Georgia Tech. So my major research direction is about distributed system and MOM, the message-oriented middleware, and also the consensus algorithm. So after I got my master's degree in the CCNT labs, I joined the Microsoft Kubernetes team, and I do the some about the distributed system in the Microsoft about I think 1.5 year, and then I joined the Crust Network. So as a co-dev right now. So yeah, so that's about me. Look, yeah. So so the first thing is about Crust Network is I really want you to know the basic idea of what is Crust. So basically, on the one hand, Crust just build up a protocol. We want to like anybody can join join the network and spare or rent out their spare storage volume and get the blockchain reward back. And on the other hand, we are like can let anyone buy the storage volume. We build up a marketplace, like build a top on the whole network. So that's the basic idea. There is like 3 very simple concepts about Crust Network. I will go through very quickly. So the first concept is we are permissionless network. So like everybody who has a computer and who can like join our network and get the incentive back, that's super simple. That about our current network status, we have now over 5,000 storage nodes around the world, and we have 1.6 million terabytes storage volume around the world, and our price is actually super low. It's like 0.00005 to store 1 gigabyte data for a year. So that's our current network status. So the second concept is we build an ordering system like top on the whole network. It's called Decentralized Storage Market. So anybody can place a storage order to our network, which is a standard transaction because we are layer 1 standalone blockchain. And the whole mechanism is so much like the Uber. The right storage nodes will corresponding to the storage needs from the user. And the nodes will store the data for the user. And right after this complete the whole storing process, the nodes will get the extra blockchain reward back. So that's the decentralized storage market, so much like the Uber, yeah. And those are the projects right now on the Crust network, which using our decentralized storage market to place a storage order and store the content. So I category into 3. I think the first category is the website hosting. So most of the defined projects are hosting their data in a decentralized storage cloud, or we call it storage. Like the Uniswap, Aave, and Polkadot apps are now storing up into the Crust network. And in the second category about NFT, we have RMRK, which is the biggest NFT marketplace in the Polkadot ecosystem. And also the NFT scan, which is so much like the Ether scan, but it just into the NFT world. And there is another project called Kaka. I don't like list all of them. I just pick some like big name of them, just put it here. And Kaka is a metaverse card gamified project, which is super complex for me to understand. But anyway, it just store all of the like the gamified data and all the metaverse data on the Crust network. So the third category is about the general content storage, that most for the SocialFi project or the GamiFi project. The first one is called Matters. I really want you guys to know because it's a decentralized medium. So you can like create any of your like content, your favorite, and encrypt it and put it into our network through the Matters platform. And nobody can like, access your article, only some fans, like OnlyFans, right? Subscribers can access your content through this platform. And also the IPFS docs is also hosted all the whole content informations on the Crust network. So those are the like big name projects right now on the Crust network. So the third concept is quite straightforward. Oh, yeah.
Question on the previous slide.
Yes, yes.
So the IPFS itself is a decentralized storage network. So what's the difference between what you are offering and IPFS?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, you should get a t-shirt because I would like to talk later, but we are actually an incentive layer built top on IPFS. So we are like 100% IPFS compatible. So any project who right now build on IPFS can really easy to integrate with us. Yeah. So the third concept is about the cross-chain storage solution. That's pretty straightforward because our goal is, want to store the whole metaverse, want to provide the fundamental layer of the Web3. So that just brings some idea to us when we launched our mainnet half a year ago. We're considering what if the Ethereum users want to store data? What if the Solana users want to store data? We need to bring them in, right? So that is our cross-chain storage solution. What is the biggest 3 features here is the first one is our cross-chain storage solution is contract-based. So that means we have a storage smart contract on the Ethereum, on the Solana, or on the Near platform. So any users or developers want to interact with our want to store data to our blockchain, they can just interactive in the very 100% native way. They just call a smart contract, not just call some centralized API or interface, right? And the second feature is we are decentralized because we have a concept called orderer. So this orderer just bridge the different smart contract chains and the Crust network together. They are actually a JS server, but who wants to run this server is really important. So the first one is our miners wants to run this server because our economic model encourage the miners who first pick the user's order, store the user's data, finish the whole storage order, who can get more blockchain rewards. So that's our something mechanism in the DSM, decentralized storage market. So our miners wants to run the orderer, and also some of the nonprofit foundation wants to run the model to provide the cross-chain storage solution for the different platforms. Especially like Solana run an order for us, and the Polygon run an order for us because they want to provide a whole decentralized solution for their users. So yeah, that's the basic idea. So right now we have those platforms. Right now we have already co-announced with them, and we have already published our smart contract on those platforms. Some of us are like really friends. Yeah, so you can act interactive on that platform using a native way. Okay, I pause here if anybody who has questions.
Yeah, so like these big names, like are they only using US storage right now, or do they also use other centralized storage systems?
Yeah, they definitely using like Rwave or Filecoin. Yeah, also, but as I mentioned, we are cheap, right?
So what is the why would they do this? Like why would they use different decentralized?
For like different needs, because if you like using Rwave, because Rwave is permanent storage, right? And they are like more suitable for the high value NFT metadata. But for the regular gaming file or social file data, Rwave is too expensive to like store the data. And those social file or gaming file data, they don't need the permanent storage. I only want to like store like yeah. But we can like customize your storage duration. So we are like flexible, more flexible than Rwave.
You could also, if your client wants to, you can provide like more of a permanent storage.
We can, yeah. For like you can adjust all the we actually have a storage calculator. I can show you later. Yeah. Yes.
Performance, like how many transactions can you do per second?
1,000.
12,000?
Yes. Anybody who has question? Yeah, please.
Does the price fluctuate or does it stay stagnant?
It's
Earlier.
I'm sorry.
The price per storage.
Yeah.
Earlier 0.0005.
For gigabyte.
Does that stay stagnant or does that go up?
Oh, they will go up and down, but that's for the current network status. That's just determined by the demands and the supply. That's pretty much like the Ethereum gas fee, but yeah, it's super similar. Yeah, we just reference the EIP 1159, I think. Yeah, to design all the whole the storage price module. Yeah, please.
Essentially, your product is providing storage for everything other than transactional data, right?
You mean blockchain transaction data?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, but it's like more general. Any of the data type, we can like handle it. Yeah. Yes.
Do you expect demand for cross-chain storage solutions and off-chain storage solutions to go down once Ethereum moves to proof of stake?
You mean the consensus of Crust network?
Because once the merge happens, the cost of storing data on their blockchain will be cheaper. So do you expect that's mainly why people go off-chain, is because it's very expensive to store on Ethereum?
Yes.
So once the merge happens and the cost of storing data on their network goes down, do you expect the demand for off-chain solutions to also go down?
You mean the Ethereum off-chain storage solution?
Yeah. Well, like, do you expect projects, say like NFTs, for example, do you expect them to start to store their metadata more so on Ethereum networks versus going off to something like Crust network or IPFS?
Okay, so for the NFT metadata storing right now, they are mostly stored in the Google Cloud. I don't know why, but they did. Yeah, like in the OpenSea. But in like technically or ideally, we want our like NFT or any like decentralized product data needs to store in the decentralized storage network. But as you mentioned, the Ethereum decentralized storage category is different, like about the decentralized storage. The first category is store off-chain. So like the Filecoin and Crust, they just store data off-chain. They just inspect the off-chain data or quantify or like how to say to inspect the off-chain data and report it to the blockchain. So that's the first category. And store in the blockchain, that's Arweave. So there will be like third category is like semi-decentralized, like Storj, or yeah, they are like but definitely we want and to store in the decentralized storage like Crust and Filecoin and Arweave. Yeah. Yes. Please.
I noticed you have Moonriver and Polkadot. Does that imply that you're able to cross-chain with Kusama also?
Yes, we are doing this.
And then all layer ones that are on the Polkadot?
Yes, layer one. Yeah, through the XCMP protocol. Because yeah.
So
Yes.
I just kind of had a question. You mentioned how cheap it cost for storage originally, and that's because you're essentially leveraging excess storage in a decentralized manner. So people's home PCs. But at some point, you'll reach a point where we know that centralized storage can do it more efficiently than someone's home PC can. So whenever you reach that inflection point, what is your actual value proposition?
Oh, that's a really good question. He just pointed out one like super big weakness about the decentralized storage is about the retrieval or the service stabilities. Because nowadays, why the OpenSea is still using the centralized storage as their NFT storage plan or solution? Because the centralized storage is more stable than the decentralized storage, and also people are using people are using the HTTP protocol, not using the IPFS protocol or the BitTorrent protocol to view all the content. So centralized storage may better than the decentralized storage in the service stability or retrieval service, something like that. But decentralized storage is like vital, or it cannot be replaced because, like I mentioned, if you are using like Web 3.0 applications, you really don't want your data to store in the centralized. Like the centralized server, they do have like high stability, but they cannot solve the data ownership or the privacy. Yeah, so they still have the data, but in the decentralized storage, you own your own data. So that's the first thing, especially in the NFT area. Some of the platform like LooksRare just store the NFT metadata in the IPFS, but there is a solution between the Web3 and Web2 in both like decentralized storage project. It's called Gateway. They are like a get through the Web3 and Web2 decentralized storage world. And the gateway is super much like a centralized storage nodes, but it just only provide the bandwidth services. It just pull all the data from the Web3, the decentralized way, and to give the data in the Web2 style. So that's the thing. IPFS and Crust and Arweave and Filecoin are like keep like do the research about that. Yeah. Okay, I'll go to the second part. I'll be really quick about this part because it's just for the developers and build on Crust. So the build on Crust is super easy to use because if you interact with the native Crust chain, you only need to write like 10 lines code. You can integrate any of of your applications with Crust. And also like this man mentioned, we are like IPFS compatible. So any project who has already adopted IPFS as storage layer we can super easy to put it into the Crust. So the first, the following things, if you like starting to plan to build some project top on Crust, these are the supports Crust, the whole Crust ecosystem can help you. The first one is called grants and tips. So the tips is online tips from the Crust blockchain online governance module. And the grants is offline, but the grants can funding support up to like 30,000 USD. And we'll give you like the free storage space. And also if your project or your team wants to reach out some funds like the Polychain or the Web3 Foundation, we can help you with this. And the tips is much simple. Once you got a Crust account, you can send a transaction and make a tips on it, and you can get your money back. So up to now, we have already granted 16 grants project and already has 196 on-chain tips. And those projects are from our grants and tips program, like Crust Files, which is a decentralized Dropbox, Crust NFT, which is made for the creator or artist, which made them super easy to create an NFT, issue their 10K collections on like Polychain or Polygon or Ethereum. And also the Switch Swap, and also Sockbay, which is decentralized YouTube, and IP scan, which can show the geological information about where is your data store, and also the subscale. Yeah, that's the current grants applications. And also, Crust is host and co-host with those hackathons, and like the NEARS, MetaBuild, Polygons, build it in India, and Hackos Global Hackathon, Crabs Hackathon, R Markets Hackathon. Crust also hosted its own India Hackathon, yeah, like that. And in those hackathons, we have over 10,000 Web3 developers participate, and over 100 projects already integrate with Crust. And we also host like 23 workshop or seminar to teach or help people learn how to integrate with Crust. Yeah, and you can also find us in those like open source communities, because we are the Linux CCC Foundation member, and we are also the Apache Tickley community member, and we are also the Rust community members. And we are very glad to like contribute both code and time in those open source community to contribute some blockchain technologies on those communities. Yeah, I think that's all the sharing today. Just Google us, Crust Network. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh.
I have one more question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Do you guys have any offering for enterprises? Like, do you have any integration with Hyperledger or Corda?
Not yet. Yes.
But in the enterprise, like in a financial service or banks, they would like to use like a DLT or a blockchain systems like Hyperledger. So they also have a similar need, which is not an NFT or any other thing. They just want to store, say, escrow documents or legal documents on blockchain. Do you have any of those bridges with the Hyperledger or any other?
You mean the DID?
DLT.
DID.
DLT, decentralized ledger technology like Corda.
Oh, not yet. Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay, so I think we're going to be moving into Q&A next. I guess I should probably tell you guys that we have free merch, t-shirts, so make sure to ask your questions and you'll get a t-shirt. Okay, so I guess I can start with the first question, which I have been hearing around from several of you guys. So what separates Crust from other Web3 data storage providers, for example, like Filecoin, which is also built on top of IPFS?
Oh yeah, so many people ask these questions. Yeah, so I just keep answer we are like faster than Filecoin and cheaper than Arweave. But why we can do this? Because we are like totally different solutions for the decentralized storage. So Filecoin using the zero knowledge algorithm to approve. Okay, let me back to the question. So there is like a biggest problems, which is the hardest one in the decentralized storage area, which how to prove the miners store the user's data, right? That's pretty difficult for like all the decentralized storages. For the Arweave, they just using the block consensus to like to prove the user did store the user's the user's data, the miner, sorry. And the Filecoin using the zero knowledge to prove to solve this problem, but it really needs to like a small group consensus, which is offline, which using the ZK snark algorithm, but Crust just choosing a different way. We're using the TEE technology, which is super fast. So for example, if you, so the proof data, the process is called sealing. So the sealing in the Filecoin for 32 gigabyte data, it needs to take 1 to 2 hours to seal the user data, but in the Crust, we only took 1 to 2 minutes. So that's why we're like faster than Filecoin. So why Filecoin right now cannot store anything? Because the sealing process is super slow. You cannot imagine you just call Uber, like the drivers arrived after 1 to 2 hours, right? But Crust only took 1 to 2 minutes. So that's.
What's the algorithm you use? Like, is it proof of stake?
You mean the consensus of
Yeah,
we're based in the proof of stake, but we combine we're actually a hybrid consensus which combine the POW and POS. Yes. But comparing with the Arweave, so Arweave is fantastic because the proof process is like clean and simple. They just put all the data in the blockchain, in the block. But the main this drawback in the Arweave is the top of the storage volume is limited because all the blocks store, all the nodes stored all the data. So that's the concept of the permanent storage. But for the Crust, we are like Uber, like corresponding storage nodes just store the user's data. We don't store all the user data. And also we have storage duration. So because of that, we are like super cheaper than the Arweave. Like if you store 1 gigabyte data in the Arweave, you will cost like, I think I checked yesterday is 0.24 AR token plus like $15 right now. But in our network, if you want to store like 200 years, because Arweave just said permanent storage is 200 years. So it will only cost you like, you just plus the price plus 200. Yeah, that's our price. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, you can keep the mic.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Does anyone? Yes.
So you talked about the grants. Can you talk about your requirements and specifications to submit?
Okay. So the grants will evaluated by our backend. Actually, the foundations. The foundation will have a technical interview, will have a marketing interview about all your branding, something like that. I'm pretty don't know much about that, but the whole process is offline and is off chain. Yeah, and it will takes you like some of the time, but there is no requirement. Any project who built upon Crust, you can apply for our grants. But the process will be like take you like a couple months, I think, because you need to finish, you approve all the milestones and some of the achievement or something. Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the projects that have gotten grants on Crust Network, like what they've been doing?
The current projects got
some example projects.
Yes, I
that
can.
got grants.
Okay. Yeah, I want to show you, but anyway, there is a project Crust files, which is looks super much like the Dropbox, but it's just a decentralized way. You can log in with any of the Web3 accounts, like Ethereum account, Polygon account, yeah, and upload your file pictures, and then you can do the end-to-end encryption and put your data in whole 100% privacy way and put it in. That's the, I think that's the biggest the most famous one project of Crust brands. And also there is like SoftBank, that's decentralized YouTube. You can like allow all the creators upload the videos into that platform, of course, store back to the Crust network. Yeah, that's, but there is also some like small toolkit like the IPFS scan. That's a very simple toolkit. It also get the Filecoin grants and IPFS grants. And it's just, you just input your CID, IPFS CID information. It will show where is your data store. And it will query all of the IPFS network through the IPFS protocol and show all the information. Of course, you will show some incentive layer information like is whether this file store in the cluster or store in the Filecoin or in the Arwave bridge actually, yeah, because Arwave is not IPFS compatible. Yeah, something like that. But it's up to, its funding support up to $30,000, but it depends on what's your project and how complicated is your project.
Awesome. And before I forget, for those of you who have asked like questions, awesome job. And also we have free merch at the front. So if you've asked a question, feel free to come up and get it.
Yeah.
There is a limited amount. So I'd suggest if you have questions, ask them now so you can make sure you secure a t-shirt. Yes.
Do you guys plan on expanding to Web2 companies like healthcare data, enterprise data?
Yes, we're trying to, but you know, the Web2 companies are super complicated. They do very care about some data privacies, and they don't want to like show, put the data maybe overseas, because we talked so many like projects in China, and like the Uber version in China, yeah, but they put all the like machine learning data into our network because we are so cheap. And finally, they decide not, yeah, because some of the data is privacy, yeah.
How do you address data residency and data privacy issues are varying from country to country and state to state. So how do you plan on addressing that?
You mean the data privacy?
Well, data privacy, data residency, it's becoming an issue, like because there are so many different laws across borders.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, so how do you plan on addressing that in the future?
Yeah, we actually do not. That's not our like problem, because we like, you know, the whole IPFS protocol do not, or the BitTorrent protocol didn't solve this problem because it's kind of gray. But yeah, so we are like most focused on the Web3 world. So that's yes, we.
Do you have any plans to build a product like Box or Dropbox? Because that's where like a lot of companies, they put the storage, and it's mostly on enterprise. I think that could be something which
AWS. That's the one we are talking with. Yeah, because AWS do really care about the NFT project, because yeah, so many like exchanges by the AWS server, they just earn so much. And they just released a new service called Firebase, which based on the IPFS right now. So we want to become the backup solution. And the AWS will solve all the like legal insurance in the US. Yeah, I think. Yes.
Why was there such a spike in the price of the token in like, I think it was April? It went to like 140, 160.
Yes. Yes.
Why'd that happen?
I don't know. Yeah, that's I really have the same question of you. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Is there any reason, or I guess like advantage of using dual consensus versus
Yes, we are actually, any of our token holders can participate in our ecosystem. You don't need to have a storage volumes to being a miner or something. You can vote to them because our consensus is like GPOS, guaranteed proof of stake. So you can vote for the trusted miners.
How much volume of storage do you currently store on Crust Network?
Let me just take a look. There is like 34 petabytes. Yeah, used our network. There's over like nearly 1 million storage orders right now in our network. Yeah.
I guess I can ask another question. I know that you mentioned devs earlier, like developers. I'm curious, how friendly is Crust to developers, and would you consider having an SDK to allow Web2 developers easy access?
Yeah, we actually have a JS SDK, which I mentioned is you can only write 10 lines code, can integrate with Crust, but you need to have a Web3 account, Crust account for sure. Yeah.
How do you differentiate with other competitors? For example, if some larger players enter into this cross blockchain storage kind of business?
I think the question is how do you differentiate from your competitors from storage?
Yeah. You mean if Google join this game?
Or whatever, maybe some
Okay.
other Web3 take place.
Okay. So, like I said, decentralized storage is not easy for like, but actually our code is open sourced. You can like copy of our code, but you need to follow the open source license. But anyway, if like, for example, Ethereum join to become the company, they actually won't do that because there is like tons of categories they can explore because decentralized storage is not very like it's not the fastest way to earn money, I think, because there is a DeFi or GameFi. They have like maybe one slice can get like 1 million or 2 million money back. So decentralized storage is horrible. But yeah, back to your question, if someone just came into the game, they can come into the game. We are welcome because the decentralized storage is super new. Like we need to like make more people know about the decentralized storage. That's why Filecoin, Arweave, and us do the things to promote this new categories. Yeah.
So even if some big players like Google or something were to go into the space of decentralized storage, do you think they would have a competitive advantage at all because they've already kind of proven themselves not to be a trusted party with their data? What's your opinion on that?
Okay, so there is actually some technology solutions for this scenario. So you can like isolate some clusters of nodes to protect this data is only stored there. That's the technology from IPFS protocol. That's called IPFS cluster. So you can build several clusters. They are super much like the centralized, but the protocol is still in decentralized way. Yeah. So that's maybe some thoughts. I don't know the whole picture of the solutions for the Google. Yeah. But I think that's just some thoughts about it because Amazon just did the similar ways. Yes.
How well are your miners compensated compared to your competitors, Ali and Valkyrie?
You mean the revenue?
The revenue for the miners, yeah.
I can't remember the how long they will like be paid back. Like half a year right now for the token price. 2 years. Okay, 2 years. Yeah. But if the token price up to like this guy said, they will be like much shorter, right? Great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thank you, everyone. I think we're just gonna open like it up for like about half an hour of just like getting to know each other, just hanging out and things like that. But if you have any other questions, Luke is here, so you can feel free to come up and like ask him individually. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. If you ask questions, don't forget to pick up your t-shirt at the front.
Yes.